Thanks, Aaron. Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon. I'm actually in California at Disneyland, so I am joining you from there. So it is still morning here, but good afternoon, everybody there. You guys saying about snow, it's nice and warm and sunny here, so be envious of me, I guess. So today we're excited to have the Boom team here with us. They are a dynamic real estate team from Indianapolis and best known around the country for their creativity, innovation, next level marketing, culture building, and social media presence. Todd and Megan Ferris and Terry Wagner believe in breaking out of the box in order to build incredible businesses and helping others do the same. We're excited to get this session started, so I will now turn it over to the Boom team.
And hopefully the Boom team is ready. So can you hear us, guys? Oh, sorry, hang on here. I think I was holding you at bay, Boom team. I've just enabled you, so hopefully that's what you need and we can get rolling.
Oh, hang on one second. Now, how about now?
Can you guys hear us?
Hey, there you are.
Awesome.
You know what? We're going to get used to Zoom. We just need another 3 or 4 years of Zooming everything, and then we'll remember to unmute ourselves,
If we could
right?
get another pandemic, that'd be great. And Joseph, you're lucky because I just spent like 2 minutes just going against you. Or sorry, Jeff, I think it was Jeff that was saying that he's in Disneyland. So I was just ripping on you.
We're very
for
jealous.
Just rubbing it in. So I appreciate that.
It's raining here and freezing. No big deal. Just a beautiful day in Indiana.
Right?
Freezing rain.
It's great.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's really good. Well, listen, we are so excited to be with you guys. It is always fun for us to do these, and we are only bummed that we couldn't come be with you in person, which I know you've heard that to death. Listen to what I was going to do, you guys.
Okay.
So yesterday, I'm going to brag about this, even though I didn't do it. Yesterday was my birthday, and so my plan was I was going to fly in this morning and hang out with you guys and then fly back home in one day, and I didn't end up doing that because obviously we all hung out.
But they're worth it. I mean, it would have been a blast.
Worth it. It would have been an amazing day trip into
Yes.
Kansas. I love
Yes.
it. But listen, we are pumped. We are excited to be with you. And honestly, I'm going to say this too, just personally. We're going to be doing kind of a 2-hour-ish session. We're going to do our first section and our second. Megan's going to kind of fill us in on that here in a second. These are the two topics I most enjoy talking about.
Right.
So I'm really excited to be with you guys, but then also just to be talking about these things because we're
inspections
excited.
and appraisals. We are
For 2 hours.
So excited.
It's our favorite thing. No, that's not what we're doing. That's not what we're doing. So we are the Boom team, as you heard. So I am Terry. This is Megan over here. Hi, Megan.
Hi, guys.
Over to my left is Todd. Hi, Todd.
Hello, everybody.
Producer Christian makes the whole thing go round. There he is, right there. He's a great guy. Todd and Megan are married, because that'll come up. It will.
Yeah,
It
there'll be
always
some
does.
moments.
It always comes up.
So we have a podcast called the Boom Real Estate Podcast. It's everywhere where there's podcasts. It's kind of like morning show vibes, but with an angle of real estate. We try to talk content. We try to be helpful and give tips and tricks and trainings and things like that. So you can check that out wherever you get your podcast. That's always a good time. And we also do get to do this from time to time and speak and train and things like that. But don't get confused because the three of us do own and operate a brokerage here in the Indianapolis market where we are, Ferris Property Group. So
Yes.
we're approximately 50 people in our company. It's like 40 agents, 10 admin. And we still are actively selling as well. So we still have buyers and sellers and all the issues that deal with that. So I always like to say that at the top because I don't want you to think that, oh, we just fly around the country and speak. As much fun as that would be, we're really just in the trenches with you daily, making our money and our livelihoods, working with buyers and sellers and trying to grow our own business and stuff, right?
Yep.
So that's kind of where everything we're going to say comes from today. We have been doing our best to practice these things in the context of real estate and as practicing realtors ourselves. So there you go.
Yeah, we do want to talk to you guys though. Terry's going to kick us off here in a little bit, but as you guys are well aware how this Zoom thing works, and we're still figuring it out. But there's the chat there. This is the one reason why we are one of the main reasons why we hate the fact that we couldn't be there with you today, because we do try to be very interactive. We try to walk around with the audience, talk to them, have a good time with them. So don't hesitate to talk to us here on the chat room.
Yep.
We already had somebody rubbing it in. This is
Rubbing it in.
professional speaker. Thank you. And, talking about how you guys are getting snow, which I would much prefer snow over rain.
Yeah, if it's gonna be cold, you want snow,
Yeah.
right?
Should be pretty. Yep.
Yeah,
well,
I
the rain
agree.
just took all of our snow away, so it's extra gross outside.
Yeah,
It's
it's
extra
just
gross.
so
But we will be
mucky.
talking about the Kansas weather throughout this too, because
Oh, we will?
Because I always need to present interesting facts about yourselves that you may
Oh.
not know.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So
get
you
ready
guys-
to learn about you.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
What do you learn about
Kansas.
you, Kansas?
Did you know, by the way?
Oh,
that-
he's starting to
that
run
we'll
up
get-
again.
Yeah.
Did you know? And we'll get right into the actual content here in a little bit. But
Promise.
like Kansas has the real windy city. Everybody thinks it's Chicago. It's the real windy city, and now I just lost it. It's in like Dulles, Kansas, or something like that. And it's
I'm looking at some
average
images.
wind is 14 miles per hour. Average.
average is
wind is
Really?
14
If
just
you guys
constant
know the
breeze.
city he's talking about, put it in the chat real
gotta
quick. I
find
bet
it.
one of you know for
Yeah,
sure.
it's gonna come up.
Okay. Okay. Well, very
All right, well-
interesting.
well-
Chicago has nothing on you guys.
Hopefully, you're going earbuds to hear us over the howling wind that you're dealing with. Okay, great start, Todd. Great
Thank you.
start.
Yes.
Very
Solid.
interesting.
Right out of the gate.
We'll try to keep those to a minimum, folks, but there's no promises because Todd's a bit of a loose cannon on the team. Wouldn't you say he's the loosest of the
Oh,
cannons
yeah.
on the team?
Of all the
He's,
Kansas.
Oh,
the
here
only
he
one,
goes.
he's the only one I worry about, really.
Okay, all
is
right.
Todd.
Dodge City. Dodge City.
Dodge City it
Average
is,
14
yeah.
miles per hour
Okay.
wind.
Yeah.
That's too much.
That's
Too
right.
much.
All right, let's dive in. This first session, the first hour that we're going to be talking with you is our 7.5 personal Jedi tricks for you to ignite your business.
Yes.
And I do want to just start off by showing you this slide right here. Producer Christian, show the slide to the folks.
I will bring up the
Bring
slide
it right up.
momentarily.
Yes,
Christian.
here
Oh,
it
and
Just
just
comes.
and ready, and
Get
3,
ready.
2, there it is.
All right. So maybe you've seen this meme before, right? Who says real estate professional is stressful? I'm 48 and I feel great. So real estate, we know, is stressful. That's just what it is. And so one of the things we're going to be talking about today, or actually a lot of the things we're going to talk about today, are how do we alleviate the stress? Because it is our belief, and the thesis of this talk is that if we can elevate our personal selves, if we can elevate who we are, then our business will also increase as well. Our business growth will never outpace our personal growth. So today we're talking about these things, and it's going to be a lot of things that are not necessarily little tips and tricks about practicing real estate or getting more
Yeah.
open house leads or things like that. It's going to be, how do we help you become the person you need to be to run a business at a higher level than what you are now?
Yes.
So I'm excited about that stuff. And let me start, by the way,
Yes.
with just some metaphors.
Oh,
A series of metaphors, all
Okay.
right? Here's the first one. You right now are the bottleneck of your business. So like I just said, your business growth will never outpace your personal growth. That is 100% true, in that where you are right now in your business and in your life is the direct result of how you're showing up on a daily basis. Christian, are you okay?
I'm fine.
Christian about injured himself just now.
I feel great.
But in order for you to go to the next level, whether it's in your business or in your personal life or anything, you've got to show up as someone that you've never been before. And so we're going to be talking about these 7.5 areas for you to show up in that will help you elevate your business, because you are the one that's creating that. So that leads to kind of our next metaphor, and that is, you are the tide in your life. When we talk about business and relationships and finances and all of these things, income, your real estate business, everything about it, what it has in common is you. So you are the tide that the ships of your life are sitting on,
Right.
which means in order for us to elevate all those things, including the business and finance ship, we've got to elevate who we are and how we're showing up in the world, right? So today we're talking about raising you the tide, knowing that that raises all the ships of your life, right?
I love it.
So that's the metaphor. I've got a really good friend. His name is Ashton. Maybe you know Ashton. He's a wonderful person, and he speaks on some of these things as well. But he always says this. He says the best thing that you can give your clients, your friends, your family, your coworkers, your business is a healthy you. So we're trying to give you the tools today to elevate your personal self in order to elevate your business as well. And we always say this too, in this session, you might not like it because it's not.
Yeah.
Good chance.
It's not.
Good chance.
It's not
gonna be
just.
some things.
It's not just because Todd is going to come with some weird facts about your own state.
I got more coming about a grasshopper.
Oh no.
That'll be part of the
Okay,
reason you
okay.
won't like this. But another
Is there
thing
anything
is,
about Lawrence, or is it other cities in Kansas?
it's not. Is it the state or the
Listen,
city of
Listen,
Lawrence?
we
Listen.
do a quick Google search, sometimes a Bing search of
Okay.
what's the fun facts of Kansas.
Yeah.
And then we just trust the internet to not lie to us.
Right. Well, that's awesome.
So we say you might not like this because of Todd, but also because it's not little silver bullet quick hitter things for
Right.
your
Yep.
business. It's not like, oh, let's go win this competitive listing agreement or how to actually get an offer accepted in 2022, which is darn near impossible. This is what we would say is fixing the well instead of the faucet. We're not treating the symptoms of the
Yes.
problem. We're treating the problem itself, right? So we're trying to elevate you on that personal level to try to
Just
do
thought
that.
of a good one.
Oh,
Are
tell
you
me.
Ready?
Yeah.
So you get an inspection.
Yeah.
And there's mold. Dun dun dun.
Oh, this is a good
right?
metaphor. Do it.
And so, yes, you want to have the mold remediated,
Yes.
right? We all know this, but we have to fix the cause of the mold.
Yeah, we've gotta find
or
that
the mold's
leak.
going to come right
man.
back.
It's gonna
It's
come
going to
right
back.
come
Oh,
right
man.
back.
And real
What a
terms.
metaphor.
So I'm just saying.
That was very realtor-y. That's
Right?
good.
Just came
We're
to
going
me.
to change all the
Just
metaphors
came
for
to me.
the next time we talk about this subject. Okay, so today we're going to
Okay.
find the leak. We're going to fix the leak
Yes. Yeah.
in your
No more
life.
mold.
And the mold will also be remediated. That'll be good. So I say this, notice where you feel resistance with all of this, because that may be the very spot that you need to pay the most attention, where you
Yeah.
need the most work. So lean into that. If we say something and you're like, oh, I've already heard this, or oh, I already know about this, any kind of resistance at all, or you're like, that's crazy and dumb and I'm not going to do it. Pay attention to that, because it may be the thing you need the most. And I always say that if I'm walking down the street and someone says, Terry, you're short, I'm a 6'3"-ish guy, so I'm a pretty big dude, and that's not going to bother me if you call me short, because I know it's not true. But if you say, hey, Terry, you're kind of needy emotionally and you really want people to like you a lot, that hurts a little, because it's kind of true. Just laying it all out there for you, fine people of Kansas, right? So if you feel resistance while we're talking today, pay attention to that, because it might be the thing that you need most.
Yes, let's get personal for a second. I'm going to share a personal story about myself and how this is going to relate to our topic today.
Yes.
And I felt that the best way to tell a story about yourself is to let somebody else tell a story about themselves.
That's great.
So
Perfect.
Makes nothing but
Perfect.
sense.
It's Inception. It's very
That's
Inception-y.
right. So we're going to play a short video for you, and then we'll come back to chat.
It started for me with a panic attack on national television, on a little show that we do at ABC News called Good Morning America. I was overtaken with this irresistible bolt of fear. My name is Dan Harris. I'm an anchorman at ABC News. I also wrote a book called 10% Happier, which is about how a fidgety, skeptical journalist discovered meditation. Basically what happened was I was anchoring the news updates. That's the person who comes on at the top of each hour and reads a few headlines off of the teleprompter. It was a job I had done many times before, so I had no reason to foresee what was about to happen. Health news now. One of the world's most commonly prescribed medications may be providing a big bonus. Researchers report people who take cholesterol-lowering drugs called statins for at least 5 years may also lower their risk for cancer. But it's too early to prescribe statins slowly for cancer production. That does it for news. We're going to go back now to Robin and Charlie. It was really embarrassing and also really confusing. I ended up going to a shrink who asked me a series of questions to try to get at the root of the problem. And one of the questions was, do you do drugs? And I kind of sheepishly said, yeah, I do. I had come home from a long run in Iraq and I had gotten depressed. And I did a really dumb thing as I started to self-medicate with recreational drugs, including cocaine and ecstasy. It was intermittent, but it was enough, according to my shrink, to prime me to have this panic attack on national television. So that panic attack, which was the most embarrassing moment of my life, in a weird way, led me to the thing that made me 10% happier. My boss at the time was a guy named Peter Jennings, a legendary anchorman, gave me an assignment that I didn't want. He assigned me to cover faith and spirituality for ABC News. Many years into covering the beat, it was suggested to me by one of my colleagues that I read a self-help book by a guy named Eckhart Tolle. At first, I thought it was unremitting, irretrievable bullshit. But notwithstanding my initial skepticism, I continued to read, and I was glad I did, because Tolle started to unfurl this thesis about the human situation that I had never heard before. His argument is that we all have a voice in our heads. If you're unaware of this nonstop conversation you are having with yourself, it yanks you around. It's why you find yourself with your hand in the fridge when you're not hungry, or you're checking your email in the middle of a conversation with your kid, or you're losing your temper when it's strategically unwise. The idea of the voice in the head explained the most embarrassing moment of my life. I started to get interested in meditation, and I really thought that as somebody who was a non-obvious meditator, but who was deriving a lot of value from it, that I just suspected there were tens of millions of smart, skeptical people who would otherwise reflectively reject the practice, who might be open to it if it was presented in a different way. Notwithstanding all of the cultural residue that has accrued to meditation as a practice, in fact, the scientific research suggests it works. Happiness is a skill that can be trained just the way you train your bicep in the gym. And that's a really radical and empowering notion.
So there you go. There's you may have heard that story before. That's a gentleman named Dan Harris, and Dan and I, we share a couple things in common.
Right.
Probably
Like what, Todd?
Well, the most prominent thing, which is obvious, is just our extreme good looks.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the
Yeah,
side
you're
by
both-
side
Oh,
comparison.
that little head to head, you can
Just-
see.
It's amazing.
Which one's the anchor?
The uncanny resemblance
It is
between
uncanny.
the two.
You're a good-looking man.
Man.
That's my husband. That's my
That is
man.
your
Right there.
It
Right
is.
there.
That's right.
That's right.
But on top of that, both Dan and I also suffer from. I like that we have like the fire.
Yeah, we
the
did the fire.
That's a nice touch.
That was good. But we both suffer from panic attacks. And Dan's story is a little bit different than my story. As you saw there, Dan, his issue was drugs. He got into some drug habits. And I thought my story would be much better if I also had drug habits. So I've been using, no, just kidding. I haven't. But what happened for me was about 10 years ago, I basically started experiencing panic attacks. It was a rare thing. I was speaking in front of a group just like I am today. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I just couldn't catch up in my breath. And I started to tremble, and I was freaking out. Didn't know what to do, and so I did what any person would do in that moment. I just started crying on stage.
That's right. That's right.
And everybody's like, and I tried to play it off like I was getting emotional in the moment, like what I was talking about. And people
Right.
came up later, and they're like, "It's just so refreshing to see a man that's not afraid to get emotional." In the back
Yeah.
of my head, I'm like, "What is
Yeah.
wrong with me?" Freaking
Yeah.
out. And then it started to spin out of control. So it got from that point where I was in front of a group of people to the point where I was in front of like 2 people, and I would have a panic attack. And so I went to my doctor, and my doctor said, "We need to medicate." And I didn't want to do that. So then I called my parents and explained everything to them. And that's when my dad said, "How old are you?" And we started talking about it. And it turns out that my dad and my older brother and myself, all of us were suffering from panic attacks all around the same age. And so we started to talk about it, trying to figure out what was going on and why that was the case. And what it was is all of us were living lifestyles that just were unhealthy. So kind of like Dan Harris. Dan Harris's drug of choice was drugs, or that's a weird way to say it. But for me,
true.
it was work. And I was working all the time, and I was burning the candle at both ends. I wasn't eating well. I wasn't sleeping well. I wasn't exercising at all. And those were all kind of coming into a ball of fury to take me down. And the same thing was happening with my dad at that age and my brother at that age. And we realized that's what needed to change. And we needed to go back to the mold, and we needed to figure out where the
Right.
source of the mold was that
Right.
was infiltrating my body.
I hope you're not joining late, because you will be like, what?
Right.
We have to
What
follow the
metaphor
mold.
is he
We're going to
referring
keep
to?
coming back to the mold metaphor. So I hope you were with us
Yes.
before.
Yeah. So that's what we're talking about today. Like Terry said, some of this stuff maybe it's not as sexy and as exciting as how to win a listing appointment. But we find that it really is important for us to be focused on having a healthier lifestyle so that you can enjoy life and business together. And that's what we're going to be diving deep into today.
Yep. And that we really do believe in that. Our podcast is all about it, and our
Right.
speaking. And this really has been the cornerstone of it, is that we really believe you can have a super successful business and you can crush it and be
Right.
great, but you don't have to sacrifice your life and your health and all of those things that you actually need. And when you look at all of the prominent, very successful business owners, they're all really good at the things we're getting ready to talk about. And we just don't remember those. We think we have to be great at lead gen, and we have to be great at all of these skills, when in reality, it's the back end stuff that you have to be great at to take yourself to the next level and be a super successful human and then a great business owner because you've mastered these things first. So just trust us that we're going to take you down a path of 7.5 things in a second that will elevate you as a person to then make your business 10 times better than what it is. We are going to do 7.5 because that half is really important. Make sure you stay for that one.
That's right.
And then we'll get you some slides if you want those slides, no problem. If you want to go back through any of this, we're happy to provide that. And then just be open. Like Terry said earlier, there's going to be some that you're like, oh, I've already got that. I'm really good at it. But there's going to be some you're like, ew, I don't want to do it. Those are the ones you just try it. We'll give you $1 if you just try.
Oh, wow.
Just $1. Todd will give you $1.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah,
If you
from
try
Todd.
them and trust us, it's going to be great.
If you don't get that 10x return that Megan promised you, she will do all your inspection reports in 2023.
Really?
No.
Wow. Okay, so that's some real guarantees we're coming with today. That's different. I like
well,
that.
I believe in Kansas. It's going to be good.
That's right. Yeah, we
We're gonna do
believe in
well.
you.
Yeah.
We believe in you. I will say, as I was driving here today, I realized that I have put this to the test a little bit over the last probably like 6 to 9 months because I had fallen off the wagon a little bit with like just self-care and a lot of the things we're going to talk about. And my business was like okay, but I was miserable. I was stressed and business was just kind of going. And I was like trying to fight it. I was trying to like power through it and get to the next level that way. And then I was like, you know what? I need to approach this in a healthier way. Right. And over the last 6 to 9 months, I really have. And now the business results have been coming as well. So it really is true. And I didn't even realize that in recent months, I'd been kind of trialing this, and putting it to the test. All right, so let's dive into it. 7.5 personal Jedi tricks to ignite your business. Number 1, organize your space. I was thinking about this on the drive too. How many of you have a car that looks like this?
That's a realtor car right there.
Is that why
I
you were
was
thinking about
thinking
it?
that.
Is this an actual shot from your drive over?
No, I do a good job on this one.
I
I
have a
organize
question.
my spaces.
What is just by the seatbelt buckle receiver?
Oh,
Is it?
That's-
gotta be.
It's plywood, I think. It's
Oh,
like it's
I
a
thought,
plywood
like, it
thing.
was
I
a
don't
smell-
care what Todd was gonna say. I
Okay,
think it's like a
okay.
piece
I'm
of
thinking
board.
that's like a balled up bag.
Oh,
like a
I was
brown
thinking like
bag.
mold
Oh,
or
maybe.
like a.
You're
I
just
don't
all
know.
about mold today.
I am.
You know
yeah.
what? That's disgusting. Let's
Everything-
move on. How
okay.
many of you have an office that looks like this? Oh, not much better than the car. Although this is a lot less food based. How many
Yeah.
of you have the old tube TV that's sitting back there? How many of you have pieces of a broom hung on a wall? I mean, I know this isn't what your office looks like, right?
We have a tube TV in our garage right now because we.
You do?
Yeah, I got one. I put
We
it
had
out
an
on
80s
Facebook.
party,
We had
or
a party from the 80s or something like that, and so I asked if anybody if we
Oh,
could have.
yeah.
And the guy said, "Yeah, you can have mine. Just don't bring it back."
Yeah, whatever you do.
And now I don't know what to do with it.
Same thing. Nobody wants it.
Do you get good reception on that TV, by the
You
way?
got to get the bunny ears just right.
Well, and here's what you do. My dad taught me this. If it's ever not working, bang on the side.
Bang on the side.
That's
yeah.
what Dad used to do.
key.
I'm
Works every
sure that'll be
time.
They're
fine.
really fun to bust too. If you
So-
find a good dumpster.
So, oh, that's probably true. That's probably not the earth healthy
Eco-friendly?
way. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
probably
you're
not
probably
Christian.
right.
Don't
Yeah,
worry,
you
that's
shouldn't-
not part of any of our points today.
That's
so-
right.
No.
Yeah.
That's
all
right.
good.
If you have spaces that are like this, or even a version of this, where they're just not clean, you are carrying around some baseline stress that you probably don't even realize you are. If you've ever cleaned out a part of your house or had your house cleaned and you come back home and you feel so amazing, or you look at that clean room that you just cleaned and you feel so good and like at
Yes.
peace, this is very, very real.
Yep.
So don't carry around the stress. Let's get things organized. And here, my friends, is my revolutionary
Uh-oh.
I like
system
this.
of organizing. It's 3 simple steps. Very
Simple.
first, all you have to do is take everything out. So let's say you're organizing a closet. Pull everything out of the closet. Every single thing that's in there. I want a blank canvas to start
Okay.
with.
Okay.
Then all the things you pulled out. That's right, Christian. Don't
It's a
laugh
canvas.
at this.
You're going to paint your
It's
organization
I'm
on
gonna
it. It's a blank
Marie
canvas.
Kondo it up.
Yeah, we're back to
It's gonna be the
metaphors.
magic. Yes, that's
Yeah.
right. So I'm gonna paint a beautiful canvas of peaceful Zen, beautiful closet. Oh, take everything out of the closet, sort it into piles. There are 3 piles that I
Okay.
want you to put these things in: a discard pile, a donate pile, and a keep pile.
To keep.
I'm embarrassed of the
I
last
mean,
one, but what are you gonna do, right?
You had to
so
do something.
discard, you're gonna throw it away. Donate, you're gonna donate it. Keep, it's going back into the closet.
Duck keep.
And that's thank you. Duck keep. Everything goes back in the closet. So step 3, you put everything back and then you relax and you breathe in the joy and simplicity of an organized space. So please, please, please apply this to your car, to your office or your desk. Apply it to your voicemail, to your email
Yes.
inbox, to all the
Yeah.
digital spaces that we also get cluttered up. And we think like, well, I've got plenty of storage, it's fine. It is fine in that sense, but I promise it's mental baggage
It
that you don't
is.
need throughout the day-to-day life. So
Real.
organize your space. That's number one.
The
I
mental-
believe in it.
Yeah, the mental baggage is real. Just I'm going to move on to point 2, but while I'm doing point 2, I'd love for everybody to throw in their chat room how many emails you have in your email box right now.
Oh, snap.
I would love to hear who's going to win that one. Whoever wins that one,
Ooh.
we're going to add you to our podcast e-newsletter so that we can add a couple more emails to you.
That's
All right,
Everyone
let's see.
in on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should
Wait, what's
be
the
in there,
prize
too.
again?
Yeah, you get more emails.
You get more emails.
Okay.
It's a wonderful
All right.
thing.
So if step 1 is to organize your space, step 2 is to create a routine.
Yes.
All right. So we're going to show you a picture here. I used to be a high school teacher in Indianapolis.
True story.
And true story. And so I went to a seminar, much like you guys are attending today. And the gentleman there was teaching us about organizing and having a routine. And he coined the term, and I don't know if he coined it, but he said he did. But he coined the term routinization. And
That's
he's
right.
like, if you have a good routine and you are very well organized, you will create structure and simplicity in your life, and you will just be more effective and efficient. And so he said, do this in your classrooms and your students will respond. So my classroom was very organized, and the first 10 minutes of every class, didn't matter which subject you were in, we would do the same procedural steps. So one day, sure enough, I was 23 years old teaching high school students and like 19-year-old students, which was weird. But I slept in, and I arrived late to school. And so I'm flying down the highway, worried that it's going to be like Lord of the Rings, Lord of the
Lord of the
Flies,
Flies,
whatever
yeah.
it is, Lord of the Flies,
Lord of the
some
Rings.
kind of fire.
It's totally different.
There's going to be wizards and hobbits. I don't know where they came from.
It could have been. It could have been.
Big volcano.
Right? You never know. So I figured I was going to show up. It's just going to be anarchy. And I walk in. I snapped this photo with my BlackBerry.
Wow.
Look at him.
Look how
Oh,
routinized.
routinized.
The
Man,
depth of
it's
field
so
on that
rude,
Blackberry
man.
is stunning.
It's
The
beautiful.
dynamic range of that.
Yeah,
Oh, it's nicely
real
done.
nice pixelization.
picture.
I just made up another word.
Pixelization.
But it really was like that, though. I walked in and the whole class was doing their work. And I'm like 10, 15 minutes late, and they're all down doing the work that they're supposed to do because they knew what was supposed to be done. So that's routinization. And so
Yeah.
that's what we want to do with your life is we want to create a routine, have that organization. We start our days, this is a news flash for you, we start our days in the morning.
That's right.
Most people do. So what I would like to challenge you guys to do is, one, if you haven't done it yet, you need to read Hal Elrod's book, The Miracle Morning. This is a great
it's a good
read, a
one.
great listen if you're not a reader, but you like to listen to books.
Yeah.
Listen to this one. It talks all about just the importance of having a good morning routine and just kind of owning the morning. Because if you can own the morning, you can own the day.
Yep.
All right. So when we talk about our morning routine, here's some of the things we want you to do. 1, we want you to wake up early. Okay. 2, we want you to wake up consistently. Now, don't read into that like we don't want you not to wake up.
Yeah,
Like,
don't die.
obviously, we don't want you not to wake up. But
Keep doing it.
if you look at the studies, and I'm going to cite a lot of studies that I found online, and you got to trust everything online. But if you look at the studies, they say that if you set the same alarm at the same time and you get up at the same time every day, weekends included, all of a sudden your body will adjust, and that's just what you will do. And you will eventually be like Rick Ferris, who is my dad, who would wake up at 6 a.m. every morning.
Yeah.
And the sun's not up. Somehow his body would just wake him up at 6. No alarm, no sun. And he'd still do it because he'd been doing it for years and years and years, and your body just gets used to it.
Yeah.
So we want you to have that same consistency, and then we want you to play the game with us real quick. And the game
Oh,
is
I love this game.
in
I
the
love
chat
games.
room. And by the way, we only had a couple participants
Only
for
a
the
couple.
emails.
Yeah.
Which means Aaron, you lose. You got 126
well, no, he
emails, which
wins.
isn't bad.
He's,
Oh,
but
he wins. He gets our
wins.
emails.
Yeah,
Good.
you're the
Good for you,
winner.
Aaron. And it's female Aaron, I think. Yeah. Spelled differently. Anyway, what was I going to do? Oh, we want you to do.
yeah.
It's the game.
This is the game we like to play. Who wakes up the earliest in our audience?
That's
right here,
right.
Kansas. What time are you waking up?
What time do you
if
get
you're
up
like
in Kansas?
7:30, don't even put it in the chat because you're going to get beat by several
You're gonna
hours.
get smoked if
I
you're
want to
a
know. We got a
7:30.
5:45
Okay,
from
that's
Greta.
good.
Okay.
Darcy's 5:30 to 6.
Look at these
5.
people.
Ariella 6:45.
Ugh,
She's sleeping
yeah.
in like a teenager. We got Laura Cheney's got 5.
None of my 9:30 a.m.
Okay.
people represent in this game. They never just
Yeah.
own it.
Well, it's because they're scared Todd will shame them.
I know,
you
yeah,
know?
he's
He's
shaming
like,
you.
this-
Which he will.
you know,
100% will
no,
shame
Todd
you.
would want to sleep in until
All
9.
right, so
right.
who's the winner
So
then?
right now we have a 5 a.m.
Okay.
is the early. So if
Yeah.
anybody can beat 5, throw it in there. And if 5 is the earliest, we're proud of
pretty
you,
good.
Kansas.
That's great, yeah.
That's not bad because we usually have somebody that's like, I get up at 2:30
Right.
every morning,
Oh,
and then I have my second day oats or whatever. It's
That's
called.
right. Oh yeah, yeah. The
Whatever those
overnight
oats are,
oats.
the overnight.
overnight
I like
oats.
second day oats.
That's
I
right.
don't know.
Really
Take my
gross.
cold shower, run my marathon. That's what I do
Well, that's
every
pretty
morning.
good. All right, Laura Cheney, congratulations. I don't know if there's any
Yay.
relation there, but
Good
you
job,
too get entered to our
Laura.
email list. All
Yay.
right. So let's
These are the
get-
worst prizes we've ever given out.
I mean, I gave away $1 at
You
least.
did at least, Megan.
Please.
Let's get applause.
All right, cut that, Christian.
That is
Cut it.
aggressive applause.
All right.
Super
Hard
good.
cut.
All right, let's keep going though. So if we now are waking up early, we're waking up consistently at the same time every day. You need what are you going to do in your morning? So we want you to consider some things like exercising and stretching. I'm old now, so I just need to stretch. Otherwise, my body just like
Things fall off.
What's the lady that
They
looks
just
at
break
you
right
with
off.
snake
Lose it.
eyes, like the snake-
Medusa?
Medusa. Like if I don't stretch, I get Medusa-ized. Like every,
No, she
like
has
I can't
snake
move.
hair.
I turn into like I just can't move, and I'm
Snake
sore.
hair, not
You're
snake hair.
frozen?
Something like that.
Let's move on.
All right,
Okay,
let's keep going.
yeah.
So we want you to exercise or stretch, your choice depending on age. We want you to meditate or do some visualization practices. And this is something we'll dive into a little bit deeper later, but it's really important. And I used to teach science. I used to hate all the woo-woo stuff. And then like I started doing it because Terry told me to. And
That's
I was like, oh, this actually has positive impact on my life. So
Yeah.
started
So,
doing
but that's a
more of it.
good point.
Yeah.
Todd resisted
Yes.
because he felt
Yes.
like this is not for me. Then he just tried it. He said, I'm going to do a little experiment, and he had positive results in his
done,
life.
Todd.
So,
Well
hoots to
done.
you, Todd.
Yes,
you.
hoots to
But
you.
again, if you're resisting, just do a little experiment and see. And if it's not for you, great, but at least try it.
Yep. So you can continue to go on, and there's lots of different things you guys can do. What you don't see up there is work. We don't want you waking up and working right away. We want you doing the other things that you can do before all the fires happen. Okay, and then when you're ready,
Don't grab
to
your
start
phone
day,
and check your
yeah,
fires.
Don't get on the
Don't
tickety
open
tockety first
Gmail
thing in
right
the
away.
morning, right?
Yep.
And Gmails, right? But once you're up and going, once you've done your visualizations, your breakfast, your exercise, whatever you're going to do, then the best thing is review your day and start moving forward, because now you can visualize what that day is going to look like, and you just carry it out.
Yep.
All right, so if we get our morning down, then we're going to shift to our daily routine. Our daily routine starts with the morning, like we talked about. We want you to do some power blocking. If you're not doing
Yes.
power blocking, this is huge. What this means is you are just singular tasking things.
Monotask.
You're not multitasking. Monotask, is that the
That's
right
what
term?
we're going with.
I
Yeah.
like that.
monotask.
That sounds
You're
good.
gonna monotask, which means that when you're doing lead gen, you're only doing lead gen. You're not doing checking TikTok. You're not jumping on email. You're not gonna check your social media feeds. You're focused on that. And the studies show, again, the
Yeah.
studies.
You're a big study reader.
The big studies, yeah.
Yeah.
The studies show that if you will be more productive with your life if you monotask versus multitask. So we want you to monotask. All right, that's going to be very important. Terry and I are both going to point in the camera and say monotask.
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 With two people pointing. Maybe just one of us should point for mono.
Mono makes sense.
Oh.
That's true. All right. So we got our morning routine, we get our daily routine, and then last but not least, we need to have our weekly routine. Okay. Our weekly routine starts with creating a goal week. We want you to know, like, if I had the most productive week, what would it look like? And I want you to literally write it down on a piece of paper. And this isn't like this is a business week. So this isn't traveling to Disneyland. Jeff. All right.
Jeff.
Oh,
Jeff.
poor Jeff. He just shared a little bit of his life,
I
and now we
know.
all just are mad at him.
Rub it
We're
in.
just jealous.
I'm happy for you, Jeff.
yeah.
I hope I got the name right. But we want you to create a goal week and have it down. We also want to consider theme days. This would be like on Mondays, we're going to work on current business. Tuesdays, we're going to work on hot leads. Wednesdays, we're going to work on our business relationships, things like that. And then plan your week every Sunday night. So if you notice the routine here, every Sunday, we look forward a week and we say, this is what I want my week to look like. Every night, we're going to plan the next day. And then every morning, all you got to do is carry out the plan that you did the night before, that you did the week before. And boom, you are super effective, super awesome. And then it gets you to our last thing, and this is just another one. This is here. This is also from Laura Cheney. This is
Mamie
Laura Cheney
Eisenhower.
said this.
this. She said, this was it. Eisenhower.
Yeah,
it?
Mamie Eisenhower.
Mamie
It was.
Eisenhower. This is Mamie Eisenhower, and she said, "Just say no."
There she is.
And
right
what that
there.
So
means
sorry, Kansas.
is we
so
want-
sorry. This is so sorry.
Megan gets so mad.
What,
I
Megan?
mean, I mean, I swear we know who this is.
Yes.
Yeah, Laura Bush.
And the
We're
Laura
good.
Bush.
All right. So
We know.
That's Barbara Bush. You guys are such idiots.
Oh, goodness.
But we really do want you to just say no. And this is 2 drugs, but it's also we want you to just say no to all those appointments that you don't need to have.
Yeah,
if
that's
this
a lot.
something gets in your lap and they're like, do you want to go have lunch with me? All right, I hope there's no lenders in the room, but all these lenders that want to have lunch, just say no. It's okay to say no. Control your schedule, and the best way to control your schedule is simply to say no.
Right. Good job.
Thank you.
Way to routinize.
I routinized the
You
root out
did.
there.
You're
Yeah.
very scary.
Now it's on you, Kansas. Routinize yourself.
Yes.
We learned a lot of things. We learned that the morning starts when you get up.
Yes.
We learned that.
Yep.
Yep.
Did you learn that there's a grasshopper church? It's the First United Methodist Church in Hutchinson, and it was.
Wait, what? What's a grasshopper church?
It was constructed during a grasshopper plague. So
Plague. He said plague,
I can't say
Kansas. He can't
plague.
say that word. Go
Plague.
ahead.
I'm from Minnesota. I think that's how they say it up
Wait.
there. And so there's a
I'm
number
lost.
of grasshoppers that are
Yes.
mixed into the foundation as they're like making the concrete. So it's called the
wow.
Grasshopper
That's
Church.
Is that for
Cool.
strength
That's
or what?
kinda fun.
There you go.
For
All
strength?
right,
Yes,
that's
I think that
cool.
helps
Yeah,
with strength.
The exoskeleton.
They're on to something.
It's a
Yes.
tremendous amount of strength.
Tremendous exoskeleton.
Wow.
Give
All right,
it a
let's
jump.
move on to number 3.
Please.
We're getting in the weeds here.
Please.
Yeah. All right. Number 3.
Along with the grasshoppers, which are also in the weeds.
Oh, this one's easy. I'm going to take it easy on you guys. Surround yourself with next level people.
Yes.
And it seems super obvious. And we're all like, yeah, we're just going to surround ourselves with awesome people. But in the day to day, it actually is kind of hard. So you've probably heard the saying that you are the average of the 5 people you hang around the most. And that's really true. You need to be very picky, and
Right.
that's okay.
Just
And
like we were.
obviously,
Look how picky
obviously,
we
were.
look at the 4 people in
Incredible.
this
Right? I'm
room.
looking around the table and I'm impressed.
Yes.
Like my stock has dropped just real quickly with you guys. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just
We're
kidding.
bringing the average down for you, Megan. Sorry about that.
So today we just challenge you to like really look at your life and say, who are the 5 people that you hang around the most, you spend the most time with, and analyze if that's the best decision. It doesn't mean that you're cutting people out of your life completely, but it might be that you do say no every once in a while, or you protect yourself and set some boundaries. So, and then purposely spend time with people that will pour into you and support you and build you up and that you want to be like. And you can do that slowly, you can do it quickly, but just we're giving you the okay to be able to just focus on what the 5 people you are hanging out with, and that you're
Right.
on purpose with them, and rock that. It's okay.
This is
It's okay.
this is one of the hardest ones because like we tell you to clean up your space, we tell you to clean up your calendar. Those are like, okay, I can do that on my
Yes.
own. When you have to start like ostracizing other people because you realize they're just bringing you down, like it's a hard thing to do, and it's also a hard thing to just kind of look at yourself and be like, why am I still choosing to hang out with this person that they do nothing but bring me down?
Yeah.
And, you know, negative Nelly or something like
Yeah.
that. So it is,
That's hard.
this is a hard one to do. And I do want to apologize to Jeff, who's in Disneyland. He's one of the lenders. So Jeff, we
Oh,
love
Jeff.
Jeff.
Are you
Piling on, poor
serious?
Jeff.
Yeah.
Listen, take a lunch with Jeff.
Yes.
Everybody,
Okay.
Jeff, put your available times in
That's
the chat,
right.
Yeah.
and everybody
Calendly
will
link.
schedule.
This is, I'm going to say
right.
that.
Just
Go
say
ahead.
yes to Jeff.
You don't even need to meet with Jeff. Just send him all your business.
Yeah,
We
just
love
yeah,
Jeff.
that's
He's
right.
the
Let's save
best.
Jeff's time a little
Yeah,
bit.
we were going to protect Jeff's time and just
Yes.
use Jeff.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good call.
Got you,
And
Jeff.
by the way, back to the average of the 5 people
Yeah.
thing again. Todd said it's one of the hardest things that you can possibly do. I totally agree. It also may be one of the biggest, most important,
Yes.
most impactful things you can do too.
Yeah.
Or just flip the script, and instead of saying like I got to stop hanging out with these people, you say I need to start hanging out with
Oh,
these
yeah.
people.
Right,
Like
right.
flip the script that you're focusing on the positives and
Yes.
not the negatives.
Yep.
It's a
And
good
you
one.
don't have to make a big old to do about it. Just don't end up spending as much time. Make some choices that keep you in the space of the people that are supporting you, and that when you walk away from that meeting, you feel fulfilled
Yeah.
and ready to rock, and not like, oh,
Yeah.
just like that.
Or
So
you could just break up with them.
You
Say,
could-
hey, I saw this
Oh, man.
presentation from the Boom team
That makes-
in Indiana,
you know-
and they said I have to break up with you.
you could use us. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll do-
Yeah.
I'll
They
do
told
that.
me to.
They don't know where we live.
If you're in a bad relationship right now, we want you to break up during this.
Oh, before it's over.
In the
Oh,
chat,
no.
let us know how it goes.
No.
And if you get that done, we'll add you to our email list and you'll get more emails from us. It'll be great.
Oh my gosh. All right. So the next point on this one, only take advice from people you would trade places
That's a
with.
good one, too.
This is so important in real estate, especially if you're in an office or you're in like a Facebook page or some kind of community where you are going to be around a lot of other agents or business owners, because those quickly can go south as far as maybe some negativity or some complaining, or hey, you go in and you say, hey, how would you handle this inspection response or this other cross agent or any scenario? And if you're not asking people that would handle it the way you would like to handle it, or they're not running their business the way you would like to, you might not be getting good advice. Don't ask the person who's never done a transaction. Ask somebody who is literally you look up to and you want to be just like. Ask those people and be like, what would they do? How would I do that? And then channel your inner whoever that is.
Yeah, that's good.
So,
Yes, Eleanor Roosevelt, just say
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
Yes.
That's yours, Todd. That's that's who Todd channels.
she is wonderful. So, okay. And then be accountable to people that you want to be like. So
Yes.
find some accountability partners that either have the same goals as you or they're already where
good.
you want to be, and have them be accountable. You'd be surprised how many people in our business want to be accountability partners, or they say, oh yeah, man, I'd love to help you out. Tell me what your goals are and how can I help you? Let's do this together. And especially we're still in the beginning of the year. We've got all of 2022 and we've got big goals and we have our sight on our sets.
Site set.
Yep, that's it, on what our vision is. So find some people that can support you and get behind you. And lastly, just join some mastermind groups. You guys we're preaching to the choir. You're here, you're learning, you're filling your cup up, but make sure you join some groups that are doing some great things, because they'll get you pumped up and you'll want to just kind of set the place on fire after you're around that. So
I love it.
boom.
That's good.
Yes.
There it is, 3 down, 4.5 to go.
Ooh,
still.
we're making
I'm
progress,
excited. Let's
guys.
move on to number 4. Take care of your mind. This is a big one, a big one. I'm going to read this long quote from Naval Ravikant, who is awesome. I just finished his book, by the way, like last week, and it was unbelievable. So anyway, it's called The Almanac of Naval Ravikant, actually written by a different guy who compiled.
Really?
Anyway, let's move on. Here's a big long quote. I want to read it all because it's really good. Happiness is a choice you make and a skill you develop. The mind is just as malleable as the body. We spend so much time and effort trying to change the external world, other people, and our own bodies, all the while accepting ourselves the way we were programmed in our youths. We accept the voice that talks to us in our head all the time as the source of all truth, but all of it is malleable. Every day is new, and memory and identity are burdens from the past that prevent us from living freely in the present. So the big takeaway from this is that a lot of times I think we have a fixed mindset. It's just the way I am. I'm hardwired to be pessimistic or cynical or to react this way. But our brains are part of our body. And so in the same way that you could increase the size of your bicep if you really wanted to, you can train your mind because it's just as malleable as the body. So whatever mindset is going to best serve you, and we're going to talk about some of that stuff, you can train your brain to be that way. So you don't have to be stuck with the identity or the mindset that you've had in the past. So let's talk about some of that right now. First of all, let's look at this slide really quickly because this is always interesting. So if you're like most people, you read the big giant font first.
Every time.
Every single time, right? It's on bright background and it's really big letters. And over the course of time, marketers have trained us, and it really is, they've trained our minds. They trained us that if you have big letters on a bright background, we pay attention to that first, even though it's not the order we read in. So if marketers have trained our brains, then we can be intentional and take control of our brains as well. Let me quote another great philosopher, and that's Mom. Mom always said, garbage in, garbage out, right? And it's 100% true. So we've got to be smart about the input that we're taking into our brains, because our brains are reacting to that. They're responding to that. And because the brain is malleable, our brains change based on the input that we put in with it. So we are big fans of being intentional about this, and therefore getting into affirmations. And I know when I say affirmations, your first thought is this guy right here. It's Stuart Smalley from Saturday Night Live. And he would always say, I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like me. That's right. And so we laugh about that and we kind of write it off, and it sounds like a bunch of hooey, but the reason that it works is because our brains are always open and changing based on the input we're giving it. And so we would suggest that you give positive affirmations into your brain, and over the course of time, that will become bedrock belief in your brain, as crazy as it sounds. You'll start off feeling kind of goofy and kind of silly, but over the course of time, you'll notice mentally you're responding differently, or you're feeling differently, you're having more self-belief and things like that. So we're big believers in affirmations. The other reason it works is our brains have something called the reticular activation system, the RAS, and that's basically, it's a filter for what's important to your conscious mind. So the best example is if you've ever thought that you're going to buy a red pickup truck and you say, you know what, I think I'm going to buy one. All of a sudden on the road, you see a million red pickup trucks. It's not because they've magically appeared, but it's because now your brain is saying, this is important to us, so I'm going to notice every single one on the road. So what we're saying is decide what's important to you and your mindset and start intentionally putting that into your brain. We really like affirmations. And by the way, if you do, we've got a list of some great business owner affirmations. They're great for realtors, entrepreneurs, things like that. We're going to send that to you along with the slides and all that. We'll tell you how to get all that stuff at the end of this session and the next session as well. But think about it. This may be the spot that you're resisting, by the way. And I would say just try it. Try it for a few weeks and see if you notice any little change in your mindset. So affirmations are big.
I always think of there's a video that went around about like a father and his daughter.
Yes.
And he's got her standing in front of the mirror and he's just doing affirmations with her over and over again and making her repeat it and stuff like that. And everybody's like, this is the most incredible thing. Like, why can't we just do that for ourselves?
That's right.
Like, why does it have to be for our kids?
It's
Why do
just-
the kids get all the glory?
Right.
What about us?
It's so intangible. I think that just we're wired to just do the tangible, like very hardcore things, you know, and this is something that is so important. And when you just embrace it and you take control of it, it'll make such a big difference. I promise. It's great.
I think so too. So we talk about meditation, but also recommending to you meditation. And it doesn't have to be like a spiritual religious thing. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. It's just, again, going back to science of what works in our human brains that we have. But meditation can be huge. There's a couple of apps there that we really recommend. Headspace is really good. Calm. There's one called Waking Up that's really good. But you're going to even yourself out emotionally, which in real estate, super important because there are ups and downs. It can be a roller coaster emotionally, right? So meditation can help even that out, enhance your focus as well. And then the last point, under taking care of your mind, make sure you're feeding your mind. Again, we talk about positive things going in.
Yes.
Do the books, do the podcast, jump on Zooms with the Boom team. You're doing a great job. You're doing a great job with that. It's all good things, but take care of your mind because a mind is a terrible thing to waste. I've never wrapped it up like that. So funny. That was stupid. Sorry about that, guys.
That's all right.
Sorry about that.
Did you know that White Castle started in Kansas?
Yes, everyone knew that.
I did not know that.
No, where?
No, I didn't know that either. Where?
Wichita.
Oh,
Really?
I did not
What's
know that.
there's
Interestingly enough, it says there are no White Castles currently open in the whole state. Can that be true,
Oh,
Kansas?
is that
Kansas.
true?
Do you guys not
White
have any
Castles?
White Castles for real?
You guys just made. That's not fair. Like
Made him and
you
kicked him out. I like it.
Yeah, they just made it, and then like, but we're not gonna. No,
I
we don't.
love
We
it.
don't
White
sample
Castle.
our
I
own
kinda like
product.
it.
What are they saying? What are they saying in the chat? I
They're
can't
they
see.
know
What does it
stuff.
say?
They're frozen only, so yeah, you can get them at like.
Oh, you can buy it at the
Oh.
grocery. The frozen
That's kinda
crayfish.
fun.
Guess what? We have White Castles.
We do. Come
We
on
do here.
over.
Come on over to
Not that
Indiana.
far. It's not that far.
Look at this, the most positive person ever, right? Which is why I love you.
That's
they're,
right.
They're talking about frozen White Castle. You're like, that's kind of fun.
It's kind of
is.
fun.
It's
It's kind of
just
fun to have a
just
frozen
pop
White
it
What's
in.
Castle.
more fun than
Now-
Frozen White Castle?
There's another burger place in Wichita, Kansas.
Yeah.
And I can't think of the name, but they have an amazing
McDonald's.
chili cheeseburger, which is unhealthy. It's like, it's not Jangles or Bojangles. I know it's not that, but it's something like that. Anyway,
no.
put that in the chat if you know what I'm talking
Dog
about.
and shake. We got a
No.
dog and shake.
Ooh,
No,
that
not-
sounds good.
well, maybe.
Is it in
I'm
Lawrence
hungry.
too?
Yeah.
I don't think it. No, it's well. I don't know. Maybe-
Spangles.
Spangles. That's the one.
Nice.
Oh man, yeah, Spangles
Nice.
in Wichita,
That means
Kansas.
Annette, nice work. You're added to
You're
the email
on
list.
the email list.
Oh, no. Thank you.
All
fun
right, let's
stuff.
keep going. So we've cleaned up our calendar, we've cleaned up our car, we've cleaned up our mind, we've cleaned up our circle of negative friends.
Yep.
And we are now ready to focus on our bodies.
Yeah.
Which is why we're not supposed to sell you anything today, but if there's one thing you want to buy,
That's right.
Kansas,
Yep.
it is Boom 30 Bod.
Bod by Boom.
30 seconds
believe we
a
haven't cut
day.
this
That's
out yet.
right.
And
I'm
you too
mortified.
can have a body
Oh, Megan, you
like
sound.
this, Christian.
Yes.
Megan, you sound doubtful.
Look at that.
Boom,
Look
before
at
and
that,
after.
before and
Satisfied
after.
customer.
Satisfied. That's actually a realtor out of Missouri, your
Oh,
neighboring
that's
state
right.
there.
That's right.
So imagine if a lowly
Where
Missouriite,
in Missouri would that be?
like if that person can do it, imagine what you could look like.
That's right.
And I know you're like, no, this is probably just some kind of CGI work. Check this out.
That's right.
Boom!
That's
We took
right.
the shirts off.
That's right.
All right, let's move on.
Obviously real.
Let's move on. All right, let's keep moving on. So get with the Boom 30.
Yeah, that's it. 30 seconds a
Oh,
day.
boy.
We do want you to get active though, and you guys know this. You know this about being physically healthy. This goes back to like when I was talking about having my panic attacks. One of the big things I made was just making sure that before a presentation like this, I do some some form of exercise, get the blood moving. I eat healthy and I have a good amount of sleep the night before. But getting exercise is really important. You guys know this. Now, what you might not know is there's some additional benefits outside of just looking super sexy.
Right.
But your brain starts to work better too. So it actually has better cognitive function. It's going to help your brain work. It's going to reduce your stress. And some of you guys know this, like when you're stressed, you get that bad inspection report. You're like, I'm just going to jump on the treadmill real quick. All right. It does do that. It reduces your stress. It improves your energy. We all know that one. It makes you physically healthier, and then you're just feeling good. And there's nothing better than when you just kind of like feel good. Then you dress up a little bit. You're like, ooh, I'm feeling it today. I'm going to sell some houses.
That's right.
That's what I do. I say that in front of the mirror.
That's a
every
good
day.
affirmation.
I'm gonna sell some houses.
It's a good affirmation.
And I put my pajamas back on. All right. In addition to exercise, though, we also want you to eat clean. Okay, so we need to just make sure that we're focused on that, which is why you guys kicked White Castle out of the state.
Yeah,
you're like,
that's a bold move.
You are the average of the 5 restaurants you eat at most.
Yeah, that you patronize.
So, get it out of here, White Castle. All right. So we got to start eating clean, and then probably the one that we kind of overlook the most. We've lost it here. The one that we've overlooked the most, though, is simply just sleep.
Oh man,
and it's so hard as a self-employed individual to turn it off, and you guys all know this.
It's true.
It's just hard. Like at night, your kids go to bed. You're like, ooh, I could knock out 3 hours of work right now while I watch some Olympic sporting events.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're up at 1 a.m. and then you got to get up at 6 a.m. for the kids to get them on the school bus.
Right.
You're just not getting the sleep that you need, and this is one of the most critically underrated things that we need to focus on is just getting more sleep. All right, we know that it improves your concentration. You guys have done that. They've done tests that like if you're sleep deprived, your just concentration is way off, and sometimes it can be reduced or even compared to like if you were drinking and driving.
Right,
same type of thing.
Yeah, it's that bad.
Like you're sleep deprived.
Yeah,
that's
bad.
Crazy.
But one of the things that you might not know is it reduces your fat. So as you sleep, you reduce fat, which is why 30 seconds a day on the Boom 30, you exercise 23 hours and 59 minutes and 30 seconds more. The other rest of the time, you sleep.
That's right.
Yep.
You're like a lion.
Yes.
You sleep 20 hours a day.
That's it. And
That's
then
right.
just one.
But you're quick.
But you're really quick.
You're quick.
Really fast. And then you also know that it affects your emotion. If you guys aren't getting the sleep, then you get a little cranky. You woke up on the wrong side of the bed. That's all just because you're getting lack of sleep. So we want to make sure that you're getting lots of sleep there. 3 fun facts for you about sleep, not Kansas, about sleep. Did you know that 12% of people dream in black and white? The weird part about this is that actually was inverted, and it used to be the opposite, that only about 12% dreamt in color. And the change in that was, drum roll, color television. Color television came in our lives, and all of a sudden we started dreaming in color. How weird is that? Thanks, Christian.
That's interesting.
All right. Did you know that 15% of the population are sleepwalkers? There may be some people sleepwalking right now during this presentation, and that's okay. We won't get mad at you. All right. And then the last one is humans are the only mammals that are willingly delaying
Amazes
sleep.
me
It
every
just,
time.
if you know, guys, if the dolphins can sleep, so can we.
If the dolphins can sleep, so can we. If the dolphins can sleep, so can we. If the dolphins can sleep, so can we. Oh,
Because every time
we
it's
always-
not going to catch on.
I assume that people started chanting on the Zoom just now.
It works so much better live when you can get people riled up.
Doesn't super work.
Okay,
live.
it hasn't worked yet, but
No.
I bet.
Todd's not giving up.
No,
that's
we're
for
gonna keep
sure.
at it. We're gonna keep at it. I saw a TikTok about sleep that I'm gonna
Oh.
bring up in this
Okay.
too, just yesterday.
Fun.
Funny thing about your brain, and it's obviously true. When you dream, there's a part of your brain that's creating this fake, strange world, and then there's a part of your brain that's reacting to it as if it's never seen it before, even though it's all happening in your brain. Isn't that kind of a
It's odd.
weird thing? But isn't that wild?
You have
really
a West
is
Side
weird.
Story fight happening in your brain every
night.
Sharks
Yep.
and jets.
That's
I
right.
mean,
That's right.
So interesting.
In theaters now.
There you go. We're gonna have to add that to the fun facts.
That's
yes.
right.
Oh no, more fun facts. All right, let's go on to number 6.
Let's
Are
do
you guys
it.
ready?
Yes.
All right. Taking skier?
Yep.
Take scared of your spirit.
Take care of your spirit. So we've done your mind, your body, and now your spirit. And that is really important because just think, if you've had the days before where you're just out of it and you're just feeling off and you just don't feel fulfilled and nothing goes well when you aren't in line with yourself. And that's really just you filling your cup and making sure that you take care of yourself. In real estate, we're like the last ones to take care of ourselves.
Yes,
it happens
that's
all
true.
the time. We take care of our clients, we take care of our family, we take care of our cross agents, and if we have to, and then the
Right.
people we work with. And sometimes you just have to stop and fill your own cup. And that is so important. And you can think of that every time when you start getting stressed out and you think, okay, I'm trying to work off an empty cup. I've got nothing in the tank to be able to keep going. Sometimes you have to stop and fill up, and that's okay. So ways you can do that. The first one, spend some time with your family and friends.
Yes.
Again, I always hear the comment that realtors are the worst friends because we're the ones like, oh, we can't, I got to go write an offer. I got to leave dinner, or, oh, I can't, you know, I've got to do this or that. And it's so important that sometimes you just carve out time for your family and your friends and the people that will pour back into you so that you feel fulfilled and you're happy again. And you kind of unplugged for a second and allowed yourself to have that time. So make it a priority. Second, hobbies. Do you have a hobby? I mean, this is really important that you do something other than real estate. When we travel, we do ask people, hey, what hobbies do you have? And I'm going to tell you, we're very sad. It's very dismal in the real estate world. You know, there's not a lot of people that raise their hand and say something, but lead gen is not a hobby, guys. It doesn't count. You need something for you. So if you have a hobby, will you put it in the chat?
Yeah, let's see some hobbies in the chat.
The coolest hobby, Todd will give another $1 to.
So a subjective competition as judged by us.
And then put you on the email list.
While they chat about their hobbies, I will let you know that Jill shared that Spangles has a little slogan, which is Spangles, it just tastes better.
Does just taste better.
And then immediately many people went gross.
So, people don't like Spangles?
Yeah, they're trying to kick them out of the state.
That's what they do. If you're a subpar burger joint, you're not sticking around in Kansas for long.
The bar is set.
Okay, so Spangles maybe is just thoroughly hated by the people, and so I'm just wrong. I mean, I haven't had
There's some people that like it.
I like Spangles.
It's not unanimous.
What could be bad about a chili cheeseburger?
A chili cheeseburger?
Yes. So it's like a cheeseburger smothered in chili.
Wow.
It's not eating clean. That's not on the Boom
that's
30.
not clean.
No.
Like, what do you put in your chili? We put hamburger. Okay.
Hamburger.
And then we put it
And then we put it on a hamburger.
Like,
And then we eat it as a hamburger.
Some hobbies for you, Megan.
Let's
we
hear
got a
it.
crocheter in the
That's a good
audience.
one,
We
'cause you
got a
can do
knitter,
it.
knitting.
I like
we got a couple crochet, actually, some yoga, a couple with
Yoga's
yoga,
good.
quilting's in there as well.
That's
Puzzles.
good.
Thank you, Greta. By the way, Megan makes fun of me all the time because I love puzzles. Love it.
But I love you,
it.
Greta.
We also do have napping, and then we got to call out Laura. Laura, where'd she go? Laura, you can't say go to open houses. Laura,
No.
I like that, though.
No.
That's funny.
No.
Well, maybe
I
she
love
likes to go check out houses and like, I always like to make up backstories. Maybe she creates a whole new life and she goes into an open. No, okay,
We had a lady,
that's fine.
we had an agent at our old office that she would go to every sales meeting and crochet.
Yeah.
She was
See,
at
that's
the
why I like knitting and crochet and even quilting, because you can do a lot like while you're watching TV or while you're listening to something or reading.
Macrame.
Listening to a book. So
which hobby is your
multitasking.
favorite?
Macrame?
Which one?
Oh,
Who's
I
the
don't
winner?
have-
Who's
well,
the coolest hobby?
I'm
Well,
gonna
we
leave
got
it-
guitar in there too, which is a great one.
Well, I'm gonna have to go with napping right now, just because that sounds amazing.
Yeah, near and dear.
Yeah, and yoga's kind of knocking a couple things out at once. You know,
Napping's in the Boom 30 too.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
See,
key
so
part.
I don't know. Let me just
You're
let me
working on that?
ponder it for a little bit. Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay. Another thing you can do to fill your cup is to travel. And I know that's a little harder now than it used to be, but just kind of getting away for a minute. A couple of things happen. Number one, when you get away, it allows you to let go, you unplug, you fill your cup, and you come back ready to rock. And then on top of that, you know, when you go on a trip and right before that, you're the most productive you've ever been, you're the most organized because you have to get everything ready. And then when you come back, it always seems like things happen. Your business booms when you're gone on vacation. So do it. It'll be a catalyst to start your business just a rockin', and you come back and you're ready to roll. So take a little trip. It's good for you. Next, journal. If you've never tried this is another one where I think a lot of people have resistance, is like stopping and writing stuff down. And it could be anything. You could journal your day and what happened. You can journal what you're grateful for. You can just kind of purge things and work through them and process them by journaling it. But it is really crazy when you write things down. The other thing is there is a study that was shows that if you take notes and you write things, whether it's you listen to a great webinar or something like this, and then you rewrite all of this stuff, that your body, your mind remembers it and retains it. Like, it's crazy. It's like 80+% more if you write it after you've heard it. It's really
That was
weird.
my college thing I try to do, is like as I'm taking notes, I would take notes and then immediately after class go and rewrite my notes.
Yeah.
But now they'd be more clean and But yeah, it would help out.
Yeah, it's good because you kind of process it. Next one is to meditate, pray, whatever you do. Terry touched on it earlier, but just taking that time to have some quiet and some peace
Right.
and to reset for a second. And it's amazing. And lastly, guys, we're going to tell you to take some time off.
Gotta have time.
I mean,
Yes.
just
Managing
do it.
brokers, any managers or broker owners, just plug your ears.
Yeah. Here's what we do. We have instituted in our brokerage a half day Friday.
That's right.
And so you come in and you work really hard the first half of the day, and then you take the
Half Day
second.
Friday?
That's
Yep,
right.
half day Friday. And you take the other half off and you just let go and have some fun, blow off some steam.
You know what I'm doing tomorrow?
What?
For real, tomorrow
What?
afternoon?
What?
I'm going to 3 movies in a row. 3 movies in the theater in a row.
Whoa.
I'm half day Friday.
That's amazing.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
See?
That's pretty nice.
See,
That's
so
right.
we're telling you, you can all do that. Do your half day Friday. Take your day off. It's great.
There you
It's going to
go.
be worth it.
Our final point before we get to the half point, systematize and appetize. The idea here is you need systems, you need apps to make your life as seamless and effortless as possible. We always say if you're going to do it more than once, you need a system. So lead gen, transactions, contract to close. When you launch a new listing, you need to have systems and checklists for all of these
love
things. That way, you don't have to think about it, and you know that you're not dropping any balls. There's no cracks in the system. You can always optimize it over time, but start getting systems in place for how you do your lead gen, how you launch a listing, how you contract to close, all of those things for sure. And then dig into some apps. Don't be afraid to download and try different apps to try to make your life easier. By the way, I highly suggest a digital calendar. Get away from the pen and paper calendar, please, for the love. And the same for your task list. Don't make a little handwritten to-do list to start your day unless there's just extra things and you aren't near your digital task manager. Make sure that you do that with a digital task manager. Your life will be easier for sure. That's number 7, systematize, appetize.
Boom. All right.
biggie.
So we have organized our space. We've created a routine, surrounded ourselves with awesome people. We're taking care of our mind. We're working out and getting some sleep with our body. And then we're taking care of our spirit as well. And then, like Terry said, systematize, appetize. And that brings us to 7.5, which is simply this. You guys know yourselves better than anybody else. So you do you.
Yep.
All right. You know what you need to do. You know everything you just listened to. Some of those things hit home. Some of those things you're like, I already am rocking that thing. So you know you. So do what's best. Bite off a little piece at a time. That's how you eat a mouse, is just a little
What?
piece at a time. Because that's the only way to eat a mouse.
No,
little,
you put it
little
all the
pieces,
way in.
Little pieces.
Yeah.
Oh,
What?
you're popping it in
Oh,
whole.
yeah.
Yeah, the whole mouse.
Like popcorn.
Oh, popcorn mice, delicious. Delicious.
Chili covered
Oh, yeah.
popcorn mice.
That's right.
Oh, no.
They'll kick you right out of Kansas.
Does Spangles have mice? All right, let's keep. So, anyway, you do you. That's all we're asking you to do is just be focused. Know what you need to improve on. Do one little bit at a time, and just continue to improve. Continue to get better, and give the world a better you.
That's right. So listen, if you want to get our slides from the next session, you want the PDFs and all that good stuff, just text BOOM to 33777. You can get all that stuff. And because we're bad with technology in some specific ways, you will get the handouts to every topic that we
Yes.
do trainings
Exciting.
on.
Everyone
Yeah.
we've ever done.
Every single
Yeah.
one is in there, but you can find this one specifically, and all the slides and everything are in there. Now, listen, here's what we're gonna do, gang.
Oh,
Yeah.
Here's what we're
Okay,
gonna do.
okay.
Christian, come to me because this
Yes?
is serious, and I've got to
Okay.
figure
All
out.
right.
Importante.
Here's what's gonna happen. We're gonna take a 10-minute break.
Okay.
10
okay.
minutes. When we come back, it's going to be how to take your business to the next level with video.
Oh.
So I'm
Oh.
extremely excited about it. We're going to get our phones out. We're actually going to do a little bit of practice, little bit, not a lot, but we're going to get going on the video train. So 10 minutes. So at 16 minutes past the hour.
Yes.
I think it's 2:16 your time. We're going to be right back here, and we're going to take your business to the next level with video. We will see you then.
Yay.
We'll be right back.